speaking of delusion, one of the biggest things to happen this weekend, I guess, on the internet is possibly, I want to hear you guys' take on this as well, but possibly the most delusional take in recent internet history is that 100 men can take on one gorilla and win. They just got to be in the right mindset, the right dedication to it.
Hey, man. All I'm gonna say, I get that. What's his name? That Erwin speech before that fighting that gorilla. Yeah, we get that speech before fighting that gorilla. We're winning.
Hey, man, if
100 men, we're winning.
If Erwin was real, and if Erwin delivered that speech, tag me in. I will give you that. Tag me in. That, Erwin. I don't know, Eric, you have no idea what we're talking about, and maybe you don't have no idea what we're talking about if you're a viewer too. But if you have not seen Attack on Titan, first of all, what are you doing? Watch it. All-time classic show. But yes, Erwin gave possibly one of the greatest speeches in the history of television to ignite his men and women, troops, whoever, to go out there and take on the Beast Titan, which is pretty much a gorilla. If you think about it.
This whole time, I thought y'all were talking about Steve Irwin.
Oh, that's kind of crazy that kind of also is related.
That is really funny.
No, but Attack on Titan, even if you haven't seen it, I'll send you a clip later, Eric, of just a speech before that charge. It's crazy motivating. And if we got that speech, I think it definitely raises the chance. But in terms of actually succeeding,
I think it's possible.
I think the question is, who are the 100 men?
Let's say you're 100 men. I'm assuming it's a range of people. So you got the shortest and the weakest to the biggest and the strongest, right? And then you got an average. That's what I'm imagining. And you got, I think even like 50 people like that could get the job done.
50.
I
think you're underestimating how quickly the gorilla can run through people. Like, the gorilla can take out 10.
But we got sheer numbers, though. Sheer numbers.
I think 50, there's no chance. I think 100, I can see the argument. 50 is impossible.
100, certainly. But 50, I think with the right tactics, I think it's possible.
With one swipe, I think the gorilla could take out 10, and those people are out for the count.
Well, how big is the gorilla in this situation?
I think we're talking about
like an average size.
Average size. Go ahead.
What's the average size of a gorilla?
Let's see.
That's a good question.
Well, typically stands at anywhere between 5 to 6 feet tall. That's
yeah.
Not about the height, though. I think
it's not about the height.
I know it's not about the height alone, because they're obviously chunky, but 50 dudes, 50 could take them.
It's about the strength, like.
I also think it's strategy, because it's not like it got to be like 20 at a time.
Y'all gotta have some like Roman formation of like encircling it, closing down.
You're also talking about
another layer.
A lot of this comes down to mentality, and I think even the realistic reaction of humans is seeing that first wave that goes in, seeing them get clapped. You're gonna lose some men.
You can't think like that. You can't think like that.
It's real though.
I will say, read
the memes have been funny from it. If you've seen, like, knowing I'm the first guy to go after the gorilla.
Yeah, it's been undefeated.
Yeah. I will say, if this is a 1 versus 100 and it's a 1-by-1 situation, like not a group of 100, but one after the other, then that gorilla's winning. That easy.
Correct. You see the thing that was on the main page where the cameraman in Rwanda got punched by a gorilla. They said it felt like he got hit by a train. Like, come on, bro.
Like, but he survived to tell the tale, which means
sure, but it
in fact was not like a train.
he's out for that fight.
Yeah, well, if he had 49 other people around him, I think they could have made something work.
You're crazy. At least
If
with
only
the
there was an ethical way to test this out, man.
Which brings me to one of the funniest things to come from this was the Mr. Beast like quote retweeting this and saying, "Let's test it." And apparently, people were saying apparently he was hacked. I don't know what. I haven't followed up, so I don't know exactly what the situation with that is. But because the original tweet had the N-word in it, and Mr. Beast quote retweeted it, people were like, "Whoa, buddy! Like, whoa, what's going on here, bro?" It's just, that whole situation was just hilarious too. But I think actually his quote retweet got deleted, so maybe he was hacked, or maybe he just was like, "Oh, maybe I messed up or something." But I wish there was like some kind of simulation that could be run to see how this would actually play out. But the thing is tough because
that needs to be like a VR game, bro. Like a VR co-op game.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
We need the simulation to have the tactics implemented. Like, it can't just be free for all type situation because we're cooked. If it's just some lawless situation, we need a strategy going in.
Here's another idea. If we got, because there's already talk about cloning animals. You know, if you saw the whole direwolf thing from a couple weeks ago, those are extinct animals. But let's say you can clone a gorilla, right? So this is a quote unquote artificial gorilla. What humans would you have fight a gorilla? Let's say the worst of the worst. People with life sentences, or maybe, they on death row. You put them all in the Coliseum with the gorilla. How crazy of an idea would that be?
Wild.
Yeah. That's definitely crazy.
Again,
right about that.
Luigi Mangione to fight a silverback.
Luigi Mangione versus the gorilla.
He's getting folded backwards.
The amount of people who would pay for that, though, bro, that would raise so much money for universal healthcare. That's all I'm gonna.
All right, how about this though? You gotta pick 3 people. You gotta there's 3 people that you can submit to draft into this battle. What 3 people are you picking?
Oh man,
off rip, Francis Ngannou. I don't know if you know who that is. He was a UFC fighter who's now in the PFL, I believe. He was the UFC heavyweight champion. Look up a picture of this guy. And he actually fought Tyson Fury boxing as well and actually knocked him down. But
what's his first
Francis
name?
Ngannou. Francis. And Ngannou is like Ngannou.
Oh my god.
He has to be there. He 100. If it's 100 Francis Ngannou's, oh, that gorilla's cooked. That gorilla's absolutely cooked.
257 pounds, 6'4",
ripped, like that big, and he's ripped. Like just, there's no chance that guy has to be on the team. People are talking about Brock Lesnar. And I'm sure you're going to talk about Brock Lesnar, Eric, but I think Francis Ngannou is like the modern, even more ripped, like prime Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, Lesnar's 280.
But did he have the? Well, actually, Lesnar is quite agile for his size, but Francis, just in terms of just pure muscle mass, I gotta take Francis.
With my soccer knowledge, I'm going with Adama Traore.
Oh,
you know that dude is
okay. He's getting
jacked as well.
He's definitely he's ripped.
Yeah, that's hilarious. What is he? He's 5'10".
Hey, but you got to think though. He's used to running. He's got the speed and the agility and the strength. So, he could maybe juke that gorilla out, bait him out to a certain area.
They say he's 5'10", 190. I don't think that's accurate. He's got to be. Well, actually, no way. He's 200.
He still plays soccer, so he has to. Yeah. He's probably a little more lean than you would expect.
Right.
His arms are just
insane.
Probably make him think that he's way heavier than he is.
Yeah.
How are you thinking, Eric? Who are you drafting?
This is tough. I would say, man.
On the list?
I know he's not. I know he's not like a big, like he's not large. But Khabib, man, Khabib can go for the neck.
From a wrestling standpoint, yeah, that is interesting. But you probably have to go in terms of like weight classes. You probably have to go with like whoever's the better wrestler at a higher weight class. I mean, it's probably no better wrestler, but in terms of just the weight, maybe like a John Jones or something. Would be interesting. Well, just put some suggestions because there was a list put out on the internet with some people that could be drafted potentially.
The 2004 Pistons, man. Give me Ben Wallace.
2004 Pistons would be funny. He's getting folded backwards too, but you know, that just in terms of mentality, you know, you'd want him on the team. You want him on the team for sure. People saying Floyd Mayweather, no chance. Like I don't know, that's not doing anything. He's had absolutely no chance. People think Kamaru Usman.
You know what? I'm gonna go with a pick no one would expect though. Khalid bin Mohsen Shari. You know who that
sounds like
is?
you've been doing research because I've never heard that name in my life.
Yeah, no.
That is the heaviest man alive right now from Saudi Arabia, at his peak weight being 1,370 pounds.
What?
At 5'8". Now hear me out.
Possible?
Now hear me out. You know, every animal, if you want to capture them, lead them into a situation, you need a little bait, right? And you got all that mass. He can take a few punches from a gorilla, right? Because he's got the jiggle physics. So, you know, the gorilla punches and then there's like a ripple effect across his body, like the gravitational force. So, you know, you got all these UFC fighters and athletes. They get hit, they're probably going to be startled for a sec. But this guy has the natural protection needed to give the rest of the team time to take down this gorilla.
I don't know. I think like just his heart's already doing so much work. I think like one hit from the gorilla, his heart might literally stop like, on the spot. Bro. Like, I don't know how many punches he's taking. That punch might literally short circuit his heart. His heart's already working overtime, bro. Like I don't know about that gorilla.
Oh my god.
Punch.
All right, you know what? Maybe I didn't think that far. But there's a chance.
There's a chance. If we're talking about just like human shield, even after he's dead, maybe.
Yeah,
okay, sure.
Maybe.
But he's not
The gorilla
taking
would
3
know.
punches to live.
Don't take the gorilla a minute.
That's funny. Dang. But I will say, give me Draymond Green and give me Steven Adams. Steven Adams is like universally known as like the strongest man in the NBA. People say that like when he sets a screen, it's like running into a brick wall. So I would say
he's gonna set screens for the gorilla.
Yes, sir. Nah, but Steven Adams, Draymond Green, just for the ferocity, and then I should stick with Khabib. But some of these are hilarious. Like 2009 Randy Orton is hilarious. Yeah, Brock Lesnar's in here. Isaiah Stewart.
Honestly, Isaiah Stewart, the crash out king. Put him on that team. Yeah, that dude does not care about basketball. So
what about DK Metcalf and Zion Williamson?
Zion, he might try to eat the gorilla. So
I was about to say the same thing.
DK Metcalf though, that is one hell of an athlete. I don't know about from a combat perspective. I don't know, but maybe there's value in his athleticism in general.
Yeah, Ronnie from Jersey Shore.
Hell no. I think people think Tank Davis. Like, come on, bro. The dude's 135 pounds. He's not doing anything to a gorilla. Like, obviously he's crazy strong for his size, but he can knock me out, I'm sure. But like, we're talking about a gorilla. I don't know how much he's really doing. I think we're really looking at like heavyweight UFC wrestlers, maybe heavyweight boxers, and WWE guys on the heavier side. I think that's really your best bet, or like just wrestlers in general, like actual wrestlers, not like Greco-Roman wrestlers, not entertainment wrestlers. But I think those are your best bets. I see Michael J. White. That one's funny too, honestly, just for the I'd bring him along on the team. But even for the WWE, the people are mentioning, like you said, 2009 Randy Orton. I think that's more for the sadisticness of him. But in terms of actual like efficiency in this battle, the other WWE superstars I take over him for sure.
100%.
Even like from that same like I guess class of wrestlers, Batista I take over him for sure for something like this.
Great Khali.
Great Khali is a great shout. Even like Big Show, Mark Henry types.
Take Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant. Yeah, that would be fascinating.
Wait, Hulk Hogan is like 300 plus pounds.
Yeah, but he's bald.
Talking about 90s Hogan.
90s Hogan. Even then, like, I don't know. I don't know if a leg drop's gonna cut it, but I'm looking for a Batista bomb, bro.
Vince McMahon. That dude is also like a fitness freak. The dude I just sent in the general chat, if you remember him, we need him, bro. He's like the real life Blade. He's gonna take care of that gorilla alone. No help needed.
What did this guy do?
I want to say it was like during COVID or something. This video came out.
Fair play. If you're allowed to bring like all this equipment, then that increases the chances. If it's barehanded,
I would say you're allowed to bring equipment if it's part of who you are. Like,
okay, part of your kit, like your default kit.
Your default kit, yeah.
Okay.
Like you can't be Steph Curry bringing a katana, like.
Okay.
Random.
Yeah, fair. Then I'd probably bring like a bunch of like people who practice kendo or like fencing or something. Bring some, get some weapons involved, maybe some archery. I'll bring the guy from the Olympics, the Turkish dude, who.
Nah, I'll bring the Korean girl.
The guy from the Olympics. Nah, that's fire. That's fire. You're not taking our math teacher who taught karate classes, Dre?
Hell no. Nah. There's no chance in hell that he defends himself.
Nah, for context, if anyone's out there listening, I don't care, bro. we had a high school teacher who we took karate classes for, or like took karate classes from him for like maybe like 10, 15 weeks. This dude would always brag about how he like collapsed his friend's lung because he like just out of nowhere. Dude like is into like, and no disrespect, man. I know we got Marvel fan. I know you guys love Marvel. I know you guys love superheroes, but he was literally like like the stereotypical, just like, I don't know, like dweeb, bro. With all due respect.
You gotta cut this.
Nah. Man, we not big enough, bro. We not big enough yet. Like, listen. But yo, this dude would always brag about how like, I collapsed my friend's lung. So, I think we got to bring him to the gunfight.
Okay, fair enough. You draft him for your team and you will die. He's not on my team.
Oh my god.
But yeah, we're just waffling. This is just a fun viral topic from this weekend. Some things like this just randomly go viral every once in a while. And
we need more of these, man. More of these in the world.
Lighthearted that the internet all gets in on. Nothing serious that is that deep. So hopefully there's more things like this we can talk about in the future.